All right, Nioh 3, you made it to New Game Plus. Now what? I've learned a few things. I'm going to go over them real quick. And yeah, first thing being, when you go to the map, you can either pick your first journey or your New Game Plus, which is Shogun's journey. For the life of me, I couldn't figure out, like, I would go here and I would come out and I was like, well, I'm still not in the New Game Plus. When you go here, you select that, then you have to port, you got the fast travel. And then once you fast travel to that selected regular game or New Game Plus, then it'll actually put you in that. Because like right now, you can see I'll have all my missions. Right, let's look here, right? Final Battle of Edo. There it is, okay? So now, I go to the map, go back to Shogun, and then I fast travel. And now let's look at the battle scrolls. And you'll see that I only have Warring States. You will also start getting divine gear to drop. It's green gear. You can have 4 affixes, okay? Versus the 3 that purples can have, okay? So, yeah, man. So, you're going to be looking for that. Now, there are some sets where, like this one, Grace of Vasravana. There's some like this that are only going to drop on the divine gear. And then you kind of just got to mix and match if you want to run that set. But I don't know which ones, but I think there was one on my spear as well. The Grace of Dakotgutin. This doesn't have a set that you can craft. You have to get it from the divine gear. Yeah, so I guess you just keep farming for whatever piece you want that has that. I want to say, let me go check something. I want to say you can reforge the set bonuses. So yeah, I can come to here and I can get rid of the set bonus for something else. Like if I don't want to use that set on the weapon, or I'm using a weapon that whatever, I don't need a set bonus. Guess what? You can just replace it. So that's a thing. Also, speaking of divine gear, you're going to want to disassemble a lot of stuff, as you can see. Like, see the material essence, key damage taken, key consumption, damage taken, key damage dealt, special, spirit force. All of those are needed to craft onto, like if we want to replace this, right, we can pick all of these. As you can see, you'll need material essence. So keep that in mind. If there's something you want, make sure you're disassembling and getting whatever you need for whatever you want to replace with. Now, I don't have it yet, but there is, what's it called? Yasakani Magatama. Basically, you can get 2 of them, and it basically makes whatever set bonus you're using. So say if it's a 7 set bonus, you can have 6 of that gear and still get the 7 bonus. So I believe if you equip 2, then you only put 5 pieces of gear on, you still get the full 7 set. I don't have it yet. I'm pretty sure that's how it worked in the older Nioh games. Basically, another way to put it is you need 2 pieces for the set bonus, right? To activate the first set bonus. With one of those, you only need 1 set piece, and then you'll get the 2-piece bonus. So for here, for the 4 pieces, I would only have to have 3 pieces on. And I'm pretty sure it stacks if you have 2 of them. So we have, what, 8 slots here? So that would allow us to have a 7-piece set and then a 5-piece set. And that would make it 5 and 3, which gives us 8. All right, let's go over Divine Crucible Weapons. So obviously the Crucible Weapons have the red skull. Now, if you notice here, I have the green martial art key damage on this one. If I go to a Divine that's not Crucible, I don't have the green affix. Now, I know if those green ones will always be higher. And if, like, say when you go to craft a weapon, let me show you. Right, say if we craft this, it's always going to have guard key consumption. This one's always going to have strong attack key consumption. The Crucible weapon removes that and replaces it with one of those green affixes. But yeah, keep in mind you're going to want to farm for a good Crucible weapon, just because that green first implicit stat basically is always going to be higher than what a normal non-Crucible can roll. Do keep in mind that if you do want to roll a Crucible weapon with those higher stats, you will always be prone to, when you get hit, that you get that corrupted life that you'll have to heal. Okay, so keep that in mind, that that's the trade-off, right? You get more damage, you get higher percentages for the stats that can roll, but when you get hit, you take that corrupted life, and then your bar shrinks. So you'll have to figure that out. If you don't want to roll a Crucible weapon, then you can pick anything else, really. You just won't have that slightly high percentages. So I pulled up the list of what these green implicits can be. It, like I said, it re-rolls that weapons, like, you know, each weapon has one. So it can be any one of these, right? Imbue element plus 25, poison or paralysis accumulation 3%, Crucible weapon drop rate 10%, Spirit Force plus 10, Spirit Force bonus Amrita B, Life Drain melee 6%, melee damage 7.6%, melee key damage 3%, martial art damage 8%, martial art key damage 5%. All those are going to be higher than what a normal weapon can have. So you're going to want to farm for a Crucible weapon. On that topic, right? Basically, you're going to want to grind for the weapon with the highest base attack, because now the Crucible weapons can re-roll any of those stats. So you don't need to kind of go for like a lower base attack weapon that has a better skill attached, because now the Crucible can toggle through those and just be better. You know what I mean? So on top of that, there's now, under Blessing in New Game Plus, you have Sudama Blessing. So basically, you use cups and fragments to increase the drop rate, and you can select any, like we're using spears right now. So you pick any one you want. So like I said, like this one gives martial art key consumption. This one gives low stance. This one gives imbue fire plus 8. Now remember I said, what is it? The Crucibles can get up to plus 25. So really, what's the highest? 938? That might be the highest. Looks like that's the highest. 938. So I would go with this, and I'll select it, and then it'll take one cup, and then it'll take 18,000 of the Sukoma fragments. I don't know where it tells you how many total fragments you have. I don't know where that stat is, because it just shows you what you need. Don't know how much I have. If anybody knows where to find that, let me know, because I don't see it. But basically, I can pick that spear. I can go to confirm here, and it'll use one cup and that 18,000, and it'll have a 27% increase to drop that spear. And if we go to a Crucible, well, guess what? We have a better chance of getting those to drop from the Crucible and finding exactly what we need. And this can be done for anything. If you're searching for a certain piece of gear and you're looking for, like, you know, a divine version of that, just pick it from the list. So for example, right, I'm looking for the Peerless set as a divine drop, and the Peerless comes in robes, gauntlets, the Akama, and the sandals. So if I come into this Sudama Blessing, we can find Peerless, right? And I can select this. I usually Master of the Spear. That's what I want. So I can pick this, and then now I have a better chance of finding that and getting a divine drop and getting exactly what I need. So you can use this for anything, even accessories, which, is it on here? It's probably not gonna be on here, that special Yamatama, because I haven't seen it drop yet. But that's how you can have a better time at target farming exactly what you want. So while we're talking about gear, if you haven't already done this, make sure you go into System, Basic Game Settings, toggle to the last tab, and automatically dispose of excess equipment. This is going to be off. You can make an offering, you can sell, you can disassemble, you can do soul extraction. I always keep mine to sell because I'm going to need a ton of gold. You can set this to whatever you want. Like, you know, we were just going over how you're going to need to reforge certain stats. You're going to need certain items that you can only get from disassembling. So, but always keep in mind that whenever you set that on, whenever you touch a shrine, it'll automatically pop up and you don't have to do it, right? I can hit back right here and just completely cancel it out. So you don't, it won't do it. It just automatically brings up the menu. So like if I do it now, it'll bring it back up. I can press X and be like, are you sure you want to get rid of these? Blah, blah, blah. So just keep in mind that you do have the option to back out of it, okay? But going to that, I always keep mine on sell. And if I don't need to sell it, I'm like, oh, I need to disassemble some things, I'll just run to the blacksmith and disassemble myself. I'm also going to show you something in the blacksmith that I missed for my first playthrough that makes it very easy to kind of toggle what you want to get rid of. But I'd also go rare or below. I would, this way it's just going to get rid of common, uncommon, and rares, and it'll just, whatever you set it to, it'll just sell or disassemble those. Okay, so on the topic of the blacksmith, there's kind of like a sort function that will help you. So basically, let's go to disassemble. Now, if you see additional settings at the bottom, we can then go to, you go to filtering, it brings this up. You can select your favorites, the lock status, locked, not locked, category. You can choose if you only want to get rid of a certain thing, style, if you only want to get rid of your samurai stuff or your ninja stuff, item name, like you can just specifically choose what you want to get rid of, item level, item rarity. If you want it to have the plus value, you can be like, all right, I want 2 through 3 plus values to just get rid of them, right? You can do that. Familiarity, max, not maxed, literally everything here, whatever you want to do. So we'll leave it the 2 to 3, which I don't think I have any. So let's set it to 1 to 3. Okay. So now I want to go to filter. So it is now filtered all of my +1 to +3. So now if I press select all, everything in here is only +1 to +3. And then obviously I can get rid of it. Okay, so that's just a way to filter. That way, if you like, you got a ton of stuff, or you know, you've already locked the equipment you want to keep, whatever sets that you're working towards, and then everything else you're like, oh, okay, well, I want to do soul extraction. Okay, soul extraction again. We'll do the filtering. It's 1 to 3 filter. Guess what? Now all these are 1 to 3, and then when I get rid of it, well, now I'm going to get the azure soul ores, the yellow ores, and the viridian ores, because you only get the azure and the viridians from plus equipment. Okay, so another thing you can just toggle through. Now on top of that, the tea house has an option. You come to the tea house, clan battles, go to clan battles, down here donate. Now if you look, daily special reward, if I donate split staves, face out of here, I'll get 232,500 gold. I turned in 1. I had 1 and I turned it in, and it gave me 61 points. So I'm assuming the rarity determines how many points. So next reward after. So you can just keep turning in these split staves, whatever it is, and just farm gold that way. Or you got a special reward up top, donate smirk wipers. You'll get the Ipin the Tara Fangs, and then I think it'll keep toggling through. But let me go make a bunch of split staves real quick. I'll just go forge a bunch, and then I'll show you what that's like. Now this isn't optimal because it's going to cost us 73,000 per forge. Okay, so basically you want to go farm out in the battle scrolls or out in the open world to get these drops, and make sure you go check before you turn in all your gear or whatever you're doing with the blacksmith. Make sure you're going and turning in for these bonuses. But just for the sake of the video, since I don't have any, I'm going to make a bunch of these. Wow. So I made 3 and it cost me 210,000, and we'll get that back. But just for the sake of the video, I'll show you. So now we're going to go back. It's always we're going to go to clan battles. We're going to go to donate. Gonna get flash bombed. And then now we can go, I'll go to my split staves. And I'll select all. Oh, these only give me 4 each, so this is only going to give me 12. Yeah, I don't really know what, because I literally turned in 1 and got the 61. So I'm assuming maybe just gear. It was probably like a divine one or something. It probably was just higher. So I'm going to turn these in. And then, yeah, obviously I only went up 12. But just save your gear, right? Turn these in and you'll get that gold reward. And then I believe that gold reward will keep going up. And then you have 4 hours and 4 minutes to do that. And then I think you can get into like the millions of gold from turn-ins, and you can like really make some good money. Like from selling the gear, you're gonna make gold eventually, but it's not big numbers. This is where you get the big numbers. All right, so keep that in mind. All right, the last thing I want to go over is if you go back to your map, it's gonna tell you complete it on other difficulty. Now, if you go collect Kodamas again, it's just going to give you random consumables. It's not worth it. You collect scam pussies, it's not worth it. Getting the chest, really not worth it, right? The only thing that's worth doing are, where is it? Crucible Wraiths. They will give you, let me go show you. They can drop as blue now, and they can have an extra implicit on them. So let me go and show you that. My soul cores, Omnio box. So like these, okay? See how these are blue? If you look at these, they only got 2 implicits. Look at this, it's got 3. So redoing those Wraiths on the map will guarantee that you get a blue, a rare, from a rare soul core. So make sure you do those. Make sure you're doing the Crucible spikes and the lesser Crucibles. So I'll go to this one and show you. So through playing the game, you know you have your Spirit Guardians. Right now, my max Spirit gauge is at 113. Now, what I said with these Crucible spikes and these lesser Crucibles, you're still, when you complete these on New Game Plus, this is basically the only thing you want to do because it still increases your maximum limit. So we go and do this lesser Crucible, it's going to go to 114. And it's also going to power up our Guardian Spirits. So you're going to want to make sure you do all of these again. I'll go do it right now just to show you. And there's also something else I'll show you once I beat it that you can collect from like battle scrolls and doing, if you do collect like Kodamas, you have a chance to get these, like, it's like a sand and something else artifact that lets you re-roll. I'll show you once we get in here. Okay, so we're done with that. So now let me show you. We have 113 on the Spirit gauge, okay? So we break this. Now it's at 114. Spirit Force increased by 1. Guardian Spirit also strengthened. So you're going to want to make sure you're still doing these. And now this pops up. Memories of Lesser Crucibles. I can recall memories, and I can use one of these new... These are the new ones. I forget exactly what they're called. But you can get those by doing battle scrolls, and like I said, some of the open world stuff will drop these. I can't remember which one off the top of my head, but I think the best, we'll go look at the battle scrolls after this. So you can recall memory and just redo it, or you can recall the memory in an enhanced state. It'll basically up the strength of the enemies, but you will not get any more Guardian Spirit points or strengthen your Guardian Spirits. This is just purely just for the challenge, okay? So there's that. Now, I believe the gear can go up to 170 is max, or I think if you craft the gear, it's 160, then plus 15. I can't remember off the top of my head. But let's go back, and I'll show you those items that you can get on the battle scrolls. So yeah, perfect. First one you get, Escape from Hitokoto Slope, Sands of Recollection, and Scarlet Sands of Despair. Those are the ones you need to redo the Crucible that I just showed you. So if you do want to do that, which is really no point, you can, right? You kind of get them off of everything. And I think that's kind of it with New Game Plus. You kind of just do the Sudama Blessing and kind of get what you want. And that's it. So I'm working on a Spear build, Spear Tonfa build. And yeah, anyway, if I missed anything, let me know in the comments. You know the drill. Subscribe, come back. See you on the next one.